All right, guys. Uh, let's get started, Nox.
Yeah, I want to say before starting, this is the plan is that this is as impromptu as possible, as informal as possible. Ask questions, make comments, engage. I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the chat in the background as well. So just let's make this a fun conversation where hopefully everybody can learn something because we're also learning every day.
Right. Okay. So the first thing I want to say is like, whenever you're building a keep, which can be hit. So what are you have to think about? What do you get hit with, right? So the two troops which needs the most protection are your siege and your cavs, because siege is unique because siege attacks siege first. So your siege can get hit, and calves, of course, with arch, right? Because your calves are the troops that go out into battle first and come out last. So these are the two things you need to protect. First of all, range is probably the most protected troop type. Uh, yes, siege does hit range after all siege is dead, but if you just make a preset and heal layers, siege will do like almost no damage on a keep. Like it will, because remember, like siege is attack is engaging with the layers, and by that time cav or ground will something will kill the siege. So I think range is the most protected troop type. So I really don't care about buffing my range. Yes, when you can be calved, it's a problem, but otherwise I really don't care about protecting my range or buffing my range in defense. Similarly for ground, basically when you can be calved, you are almost dead already. So I don't really, I don't really buff my ground that much. But at the same time, ground attack can kill a lot of range. So you might there are different views, right? You put ground speed, ground goes there first, kills range. If your mounted HP is high enough, your mounted doesn't die. So there are different theories. Nox, would you like to weigh in on this?
Yeah, and this is essentially the biggest point. Um, the way to build your defense is to counter offense. Is so before understanding how to build your defense, you want to understand what am I going to be attacked with, and
Right.
nobody is able to defend against rallies in quick succession. So defending against rallies is going to mean that you're going to be a 60, 70 billion, whatever keep to defend against several rallies in succession. And you're never going to be able to um, withstand the rallies coming in. You want to make sure that the rallies hurt them more than they hurt you, that they give you more points than they give them, so that they don't want to hit you. Um, so the goal is essentially if you and I'm looking at it from a perspective of a rally team like RSP or from VIG or Vel, whatever other team you have. The way you want to look at it is I want to make sure that I don't get hurt on a solo because that's essentially
Yep.
how you add the most value to your rally team. And that's the perspective of what we're looking at here right now. Um, Trap keeps have their own value in Battlefield, and they have a lot of value in Battlefield. But if you're talking about a rally team keep, like a keep that can take a defense, that's essentially what we're looking at here.
Right. So I think the format we will follow is we will just like if we can have like people from different uh, power categories just share some reports and we can give our inputs, reports and buffs. So if we can have some volunteers, that will be great.
I'm at the like what 5.1 bill in our alliance. I'm a setter along with one other person in our alliance. So I think that if that draws a category where I am, eviction by the way.
Right. So can you will you be willing to share some reports?
Yeah, It's easier to just do screen share.
And what are the problems you're facing? What are you getting hit with? Which are the troop types? Which hit is like you are getting hit by a lot?
So
If you
the only
could go into details.
right, I haven't really gotten hit a lot in Battlefield. It's minus like 2 battlefields ago. Those are should be saved.
So you're around 5 bill in C5, so I'm guessing
5.
you're going to be hit with range a lot.
So when he started this brigade, he small sieged me. 2300. Of course, you can't see flats and stuff or whatnot, but didn't really get through nothing.
This was
Okay,
solo,
sorry.
right?
Yes, solo. These were all. That's why I said so. Lately, I've only got that. We really can't seem to draw a good rally game, or a team that has a good rally game. And they had the power in there in that battlefield to do some damage, but they just were not rallying. This guy took it upon himself to start soloing, and he did zero me, but it took 9 hits with some pretty
Can we
great
see the
buffs for
buff?
our server. Sure.
Right.
839.
830. Oh, server 839. Yeah.
No, K39. It was a K39.
Okay. This guy.
Let's just go down a bit below.
Yeah, you're capping his
Okay.
siege, he's capping yours, so he's down to 1150, you're
Yeah.
down to about 870. So
No,
you're not
So
getting
what?
a big
1150
difference.
is not. It's not really capping it all. It's 1150.
So
It's 1150.
Yeah,
It
that's
should be
23.
1500.
No, 23.
no, it's 1150 is right. 2300. So
It's the
like
defensive
when I first look at your defense, uh, the things that really worry me are the mounted HP on Arch and the siege HP debuff. If you can go down, it's 195.
Yes. Yeah,
That's the first thing I would improve, right? So
right.
there is the ask. So what level of coiner would you say? Like Cake 4?
Yeah, just cake 4. Let's just say that. I do have a couple of cake 10s, but it's a what do you call it?
Right,
Budget planning
right.
event.
Right. So there are a lot of Cake 4 things which you can use. I think there's the Aztec Shield from the top of my mind, and there are some other things in Cake 4 gears which debuff siege. I would definitely get the siege HP higher, debuff higher.
Yeah.
I think like even as a FTP, if I remember correctly, you can probably do like not FTP like Cake 4, you can do probably like 400, 500 knock.
I think you can get close to 400 using Nero and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
I do think that if you go up against rally teams, the amount of siege hits that you will be taking will go down.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing
So
with your 5 bill size in C5, my guess would be that you would be hit by a 20-25 mil range rally, something like that. So a team with, let's say, 6 or 7 people in a rally team. Those kind of teams, if they hit you, that's probably what's going to hurt you most. That's at least what I'm guessing based on looking at stats, based on looking at the troop composition, etc.
yeah, so his big siege did much more damage.
yeah, wiped the
Um,
13s, touched the 13s and the 12s.
this
And
is very strange. Like when our server was as young as C5, we never seed. It was always Arch. So I think C5.
I feel like this was an anomaly too, because we don't ever catch a siege, especially with them buffs.
Right, but so what I would do is like two things, right? I haven't. Did you get Arch at all? Can I see your any Arch report?
Say the third was Arch. Yeah, there we go. 24.
Arch, okay. Okay, go down, please.
He knocked 3,
Go
42.
down, please. Okay, see your range troop attack defense is like a 905, right? You're getting arched first, so get all the Aki gear for range attack. The ring, so that's 40% into 9 each. right? Like 9 or 11, how many subs you have. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of range attack debuff, and then choose the sub generals, right? So what you need is like Baldwin, and if you're and probably yeah. Can we look at your subs? Okay, Jiglamesh. Okay, you have Hoyo, which is great. See, the thing is about David Farragut will come to next. Go. You on. The thing is like why I don't think like ground is that important. Yeah, just go back please to
To
Yon.
go.
Yon. Yes. So why I think people like Yon or like Darius or other ground debuff generals are not important because when you are getting grounded, you are dead already.
Oh,
Debuffing ground is not gonna save you.
yeah, that
Like
does sound.
I mean, even if you debuff 1200 ground attack, ground like whatever is left, ground's gonna clean up. So I don't really believe in ground sub general debuffs. So I would put like all either Baldwin or Nero there. I didn't see any Nero, right? Do you have any Nero?
No, I didn't. I actually took him off. I was going more on the premiums and availabilities, but
Yeah, so probably like take out Yon for Nero and also David Farragut. Can we just see the specs of David Farragut? I don't really remember. Okay, range troop and siege machine attack. Okay, so that's like 10% siege HP debuff and
yeah,
10%
premium, so
range
it's
attack.
gonna be it's gonna be a slow roll on him.
Yeah, but I would rather put Nero on that.
And Nero's still Tavern, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Nero's
takes a
Tavern.
little it takes a little adjusting in my mind because if you look at it in our continent, the way you would look at it is 5 bill, oh, you're going to be grounded. But of
Right.
course, that's not the case in C5.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's probably one or two people in C5 that could ground solo you to 0 in a single hit, maybe 2 hits. But other than that, it's going to be a while before that happens. So what I would focus on at this moment is primarily range. And the reason for that is that there's not many people that are going to hit you with solos and go positive in C5. You're mostly going to be
Yeah,
hit with range in
Right.
I agree because
relatively
that's what
relatively
we do
recent
as an
rallies.
attacker side.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Attacker side, we end up doing most of our damage with range. There's only two of us, and some will throw siege in there, but there's only two of us with a siege march per se. So,
Can we see the rings you have, please, on the
yeah.
subgens? Yeah. Okay. The next one. Do you have all of this? You
I
you
think
have range debuffs in all, right?
I want to say they might be mixed, but let me double. Yeah, that's the one that is not. It's,
Do you solo a lot?
yeah, um, especially SVS. It
With
seems to
subs?
be most of the time. Yeah, I'll solo and get them back if we're in battlefield. I'll just solo. I speed to almost everything. I'm just Speedy Gonzalez. So
So
they say that's what I always get emails about. Like, God damn, you're quick.
so
He,
that
he
might
loves to solo.
Yeah, so it's interesting because for soloing, you want the mounted troop HP debuff, especially if you're soloing range. But on defense, you want the range attack debuff also. Like you're debuffing only 905 out of 2400, which is not great.
Yeah, exactly.
and
I
you're a
agree with that.
K39, K40, what keep level are you?
K38. Yeah, 38.
Okay. So there's a lot of growth you can get purely from
Oh yeah,
academy, MA, especially on attacking. A
I
lot of
went 38 on Academy, but you're right. A lot of the research is, I mean, max for the level.
yeah. So there's a lot of research that will still help you with your in city and in regular academy. And
Uh,
especially on offense, there's a lot of military academy research that will help you on debuffing defenders. So at the moment, especially as your K38, I wouldn't focus too much on the offensive side.
Right.
I'm allowed to say good evening, right?
Of course.
All right, so
See, the thing is, everyone whoever wants to speak, just speak on the stream. Don't don't hesitate.
I just have a nice little question to ask. You know, I'm a very new player to the game, but you know, I can't help but wonder, Viper, how the fuck does it feel to be as dirty as Neomatrix these days?
What? Sorry.
Is that Spat talking?
How does it feel, mate, to be as dirty as Neo fucking Matrix? How does it feel?
It
My
feels so
Viper
stable.
VIP 22 to 25 in 2 weeks, and his K45. Yeah, look at him go.
Okay, let's stick to the point. Okay, so going back, yeah. So as Nox said, I would rather keep it keep it a little defense oriented. But again, depends, right? Like, do you attack more or you defend more?
like I said, in battlefields as we get them right now, I'm too big for most of them to want to mess with. I'll catch a solo or two that ends up looking, like those, but it's not a T11. It'll be 30, 40, 50 mil, but not very often. Most of the time, we're left alone. Me and another bigger player are left alone. He's smaller in power, but a little bit better in buffs, maybe. So, like, they might attack him first. Most of the time in our battlefield, it's I'm left on. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I think what you should work on, buffs, of course, right? You should increase your siege HP and mounted HP, especially mounted HP as much as you can, because you are going to get arched the most. You'll probably go positive if you can increase your. Can I see your defense general refines, please?
Yeah, let's. They are. Well, I was talking to somebody about that last night. I haven't visited them and since I got the gear. So
Right.
let's find him. There we go. Nope. Not him. Weird looking at this angle. Let me look.
It'll be higher up. You gotta scroll up.
Yeah. I don't know. Where's my guy? Oh, there he is. I missed him. Again, C5, so
Yes.
we never find any stone issues. There's a lot to grow there.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't put anything, as I said, range is already the most protected troop type. So I wouldn't put anything range on defense.
So I
I
do
really
got a
would
question.
not.
And I'm trying to one of our alliance members is a heavy corner and with a monster hunting background. We're trying to transition her to PvP and get her into a pretty good trap or a pretty good keep position. But much like myself, transferring over from T1 kind of trap design, is it too early at 5 billion to transfer over? Is that or because I think I have, I don't know, 200 million almost. Yeah, 177 mil T1s. I stopped building on that once I started growing so much and started worrying about top. So how far do you take that T1 with mounted flats, or do you just continue on with it even though you start getting bigger?
Ted can probably answer this.
What is that?
What am I doing?
The T1, when does it transition from a T1 wall to a percentage wall?
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking don't. Oh, percentage war, you don't. Unless you're like VIP22. Keep going for tier ones. If you're in C5, you don't need to worry about that for a while. Probably around 25 bill is when you can think about percentages, but at the moment, just go full flats for now.
So full flat mounted.
Oh yeah, everything: defense, attack, HP, or flats.
Yeah. And
I would suggest increasing the amount of T1s you have to at least 300 mil.
Oh,
That's currently the current minimum for T1.
A lot more than that.
Yeah.
Just one thing. I know you don't have refining stands, but something you can do is probably chuck ground speed on the wall right now.
What is it on the wall?
You don't have ground speed, so you might just want to chuck that on real quick.
Oh, ground speed.
Oh, interesting question. What do you guys think about mounted speed on the wall?
Use
Mount
it.
ground.
Use it.
Yeah.
You have calf. You have a
I-
calf set up. Use calf speed.
So still
Yeah, so like,
fit.
what would you say are the six most important skills on the wall? Like at 5B size, what should be the skills?
Yeah, both speeds, because especially calf speed, to be honest, because if you're running a calf flat setup, you want, like, you have calf attack defiance for a reason, right? So you need to get your T1. The whole stigma against calf speed is that if someone ranges you, they'll kill your high tier troops quickly, but that's not an issue if you have a T1 setup, right? So you want your T1 stack to get there as fast as you can. So that's why you need calf speed. 2 is ground speed, same reasons, but this is really just to defend against archer rallies. You want that, you want your ground to get there quickly. 3 is siege range bonus, no explanation needed. 4 is cap HP. 5 is probably archer range bonus. Like, it does help, nowhere near as much as the others, but you may as well put it in. And for the final one, you could really probably siege attack is what you want on that last one. Siege HP is nowhere near as good as siege attack on war, just because of how it's defender attacks first. You don't want siege HP. Like, so you do want siege HP, but siege attack is a lot higher priority because you're attacking them first.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and for the question on when to convert from flats to percentages, it's not just a keep size, but it would also be like what kind of buffs you have on wall while you're on percentages already, or while you're on flats already, etc. So
Gotcha.
think about 24, 2500 cav HP on wall while you run flats, for example. Those kind of levels is, I think, where you're going to make the most difference. We talked about this before as well, of course, Fed.
Yeah. So it's most like 25 goes off. Then you just want to use that as an indicator.
Now you see
Okay,
the
so
monster I
Kuma
have
has a
here.
question. So Kuma has a question. Would cav speed work on a T1 heavy build to tank siege? Assuming you don't have a lot of top tier siege.
Yes. If you have no siege, your cap will get there first.
Yeah, it's just hard to combat 300 million T8 to 10 kind of attack points in a single march, especially on a solo. The rally's going to look a little different, but I think it would still be effective. What about the SEAL division, since there's so many options now?
It's the same thing, but a lot of the seal things are marching.
Right.
So the ones at the bottom are in city, and the ones at the top are often marching.
Exception, I think, one. But yeah.
I personally think defense is, in the majority of cases, defense is the least important stat.
There you go. Okay. Especially, like I said, we don't really get hit, and I hope to keep climbing in the power, going in, so we get better matches and we start getting some rallied against us. But I wholeheartedly agree. I think attack. That's what I tell everybody to focus on first. Is attacking. We don't want to be hit. Port, get out of the way. SPS or battlefield, just port, get out of the way. We don't want to take defensive hits. Defensive hits are, the weekend hit.
Well, especially as you start getting in rallies, it's something you can't avoid. At some point, you're gonna take a defense because you can't get out of a rally, or because you're stuck when you're reinforcing or whatever. So the goal is that you don't die on the spot. That's essentially what you want to achieve. Then is that you can still continue fighting even if you get hit in 1, 2, whatever solos. Especially when you start playing each other more often, you start getting to a point that they know you and they start avoiding soloing you. Which
Oh, right. You mean the same opponents? Yeah. Which is
But
only
I don't
happened
think. Yeah, but I don't think, Nox, that's the problem. Like, I mean, I get it, like why we feel the same, but I don't think that's a problem. Like at those battlefields, Nox.
Well,
I don't
I
think
think it
matches are
is
repeated.
because if you're in C5 and you look at a 5 bill keep and you don't have the troops to do a 20 mil rally, you're not going to hit that 5 bill keep.
Right.
Right.
And so that's how you would look at it then. So the first perspective is always troop power or keep power, and then at some point you're going to do a solo. That solo is going to go bad, and you're going to stop doing other solos. And when you're in that point, you can sort of safely sit in the battlefield and focus on offense without having to run.
And that's
Right.
kind of where I am now. It's why All Stars went like it did. I'm not used to having to port and get out of the way and this that, and the other because our battlefields are totally different. So
My alliance knows that reinforcing has gotten a lot stronger.
It has.
yeah,
You can
It's
get
not.
12 mil
It's not really
reinforcement.
that.
No, if you can get 12 mil reinforcement in you from pre-rains, they do siege rally. You're going to go positive over the attacking for the most part. If say you're like 6 bill, you have 12 mil range and against siege, yeah, they are not going to be able to penetrate you well. Also, I looked in spiritual beasts, seals. 2 of them are in-city siege HP.
this is the report that I'm showing now. I was talking about last time. This is with one or just a few people reigning with a siege. I was just playing around with a small siege, and it failed miserably.
Yeah, especially T11 with reinforcements is it just dies. It doesn't do anything. Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out there. I know we were talking about it personally, but like, yes, please, anybody, like, if they have reigns, go home with T11.
Yeah. So in the meantime,
All
we have
right.
a question from
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
I can
Anything else?
ask a question.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah. Of course. Don't
Yeah.
need to
Like,
ask.
on the defense part, I saw a report this says that 1200 siege attack buff with the one like 1100 HP in defense.
Sorry for interrupting. Could you just like start with like your game name, your server, and your keep power, so that everyone knows what we are talking about?
Yeah, sure. Like I'm from the server 1303, play with the eviction. Like we are in the same alliance. I have a K37 and I play a March versus March. Like I play defense, March against March, and I used to have a ghost keep. So like I have a alt account like K33 where I have ground buff of 950 something, and a 1200 siege guy lost to attack to me. Although he's not a well layered, but the fun part is I saw that a 1200 range attack HP with the 1100 and defense with the 1100 lost to me when I was having like 950
Siege
attack
is
on
very
the ground.
siege is very weak against ground and calves. Very weak.
Yeah, yeah. So
Just
here I have a thing in mind
just
like
imagine like you have siege machines with like really high buff. How are they like? I mean, how are they still getting to calves? Right? Just imagine a real battlefield. How is siege ever getting to calves?
Siege goes
like
through.
Cav will gonna reach to siege first because Cav have more speed than the siege. Although
Right.
siege will gonna start attacking from the distance, like siege have a range bonus, but like that's for only coiner. Like if you are a good coiner you can get a siege range bonus, then it gonna work. But if you don't have a siege range bonus, then you will gonna get hit very bad with the calves or the ground. But the thing is like I'm thinking what if we get a T1 ground and having a flat refine for the ground defense and having T1 calves with the flat refine of a calf HP, what would be the defense?
So
It will gonna make
my suggestion is that you always go for one troop type so that you can overbuff them rather than mixing troop types, because then both are like half defended and someone with very high buff would take out both. So I would just like suggest go for one troop type and defend it, like put all the refines on that instead of like doing half and half.
Well,
You
I
guys
think a
want to add
hybrid.
anything?
I think a hybrid wall is good if you run Cav ground, for example, especially because the buffs don't really overlap. Ground attack is it's a trash stat. It's low on its own, so you just want to keep your ground alive. That's so. For example, you can buff
They're
ground
buffers.
defense. If you buff ground defense, Cav HP, and a combination of Cav and ground attack, etc., you can essentially run them in parallel. And the benefit is that your Cavs are
Not gonna get
take.
zeroed.
Sorry?
But that's the first targeted.
So I'm sorry to jump in. EMP 1173.
EMP.
K39 9 bill. Hey guys. So I'm running both actually. You're describing my keep. I have
Similar to my keep as well.
over I run over 400 mil T1 horses. Probably around 300 mil T1 ground. Ground flats are basically just defense because ground hits like a wet noodle, so buffing the attack of ground is pointless. And then rest of the floods is basically horses HP, horses attack. What happened is even if I get massively rallied with range and they, I got in Ulsters, I got 40 million rally going at me, and they got through my horses, they will get my T1 horses. I will still win the defense, which gives me a time to heal the layer or something because it's gonna go splat on my T1 ground. So I haven't get one rally to be able to get through both T1 layers. Not yet.
Right. Could you share some reports, EMP?
I could
Yeah,
from All
that
Stars.
would be
Yeah,
interesting.
I can. The thing is, I'm just literally at work and listening to you guys. I'm mostly muted, so I can't really focus. But I figured I'd jump in because you're describing what I do, and I think it works. I think it works. I face.
It's also what I have.
It doesn't work as well. Nowhere near as well. It's just a full cav. I've done both. It's nowhere near.
The thing is that the I think what really matters is I would say the context, right? So if you were a 9-10 billion keep, your T1s are not really doing much for a while because you have so much higher layers that it takes a little bit of work from the opponent's team to get to your T1s, right? So it's kind of, for me, it's like I know that I'm gonna lose those T1s at some point anyways, even if I'm gonna do full flat horses no matter what. If I'm not ranged, rally gonna get through me no matter what. Because this is the second keep I have. My first keep, which was slightly, I would say, worse in terms of coining, but way better in terms of the way I build it. So it was full flat horses. It was a K38, around 400 million of T1 horses. Everything was full flat horses. And well, bottom line is, good rally will wipe you no matter what if you're not ranged.
Well, I will say that that's not true.
I would say that if you have like 800, like you can just double the numbers, and you have all the layers to T67 at least. I don't think a full range wipes a full T1 cav wall fully buffed.
I'm thinking volume, probably volume matters,
Okay, I can answer. Actually, I can answer to that question. It's Norway 1013.
Yeah.
And we have a player here. And hello. And we have a trap keep here. It's K39, up to date on every kind of research, and it's a fully mounted trap. It's currently 2.4 billion, and every rally it has, they're not killing it. It's just, it bounces off. It's like in All Stars, Viper played against a friend of mine. His name is Monk. And he hit him solo a couple of times, and he said, "Yeah, this fucker is balancing everything or tanking everything, whatever." I don't remember.
And I think that's why traps are different.
That keep is pretty much the same. It's just doesn't matter. Buff
is it facing this range or is it doing it solo?
It does it on rallies too. Doesn't matter what.
Yeah,
What
what
the
yeah,
rally
what
is.
I'm saying is yes, but the rally on a keep that's not rained, a T1 trap that's not rained and being rallied, and T1 trap that's being rained and being it's rained and being rallied is entirely two different animals.
No. I
It's
think we
gonna
just keep.
tank it. It's gonna tank it regardless.
I think we just keep Reens out of it. Reens are so strong nowadays that Reens, like a proper Reen, can tank every rally. So let's not keep Reens inside. Let's just talk like without Reen keeps.
Yeah,
Too much
if
risk.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
without
afraid.
rain, it's gonna lose like to a I don't know 30, 40 million rally. It's gonna lose like 600-700 million. That's it.
I think
Uh,
I think
which
rain is
defense
gonna
is
be
talking about?
fixed
Like,
between quotes. That I think they're slowly realizing that there's something that is just overpowered at the moment.
Yeah, the
no,
rain
no, like, are you talking
reinforcement
about
buff.
800 million T1?
I'm sorry,
What are
could
you
you
talking
repeat
about?
that?
T1, Mr. Winner?
Like,
I
I'm asking,
I,
are you talking about having 800 million T1 can
I
bounce off
would
the range rally?
I would say that if you're looking to like bounce of a rally, a billion T1, 500 million T2, and then 50 million all the way to T7 is definitely something you're looking at.
Yeah, keep in mind we're talking about
Y-
a rally keep
You,
taking a defense at that moment and not about a trap. So they're
Okay.
really
yeah,
different
yeah.
animals there because the main benefit of a trap is you essentially have really small layers at the top that are just gonna die, and then you have a really big layer at the bottom that's just gonna tank and counterattack. And because you have more than a billion of them, for example, Norway, you said that trap was 2.4 bill power, so that's probably going to be 1.2, 1.3 bill T1s, something
No,
like that.
I'm gonna send you
Probably
Uh,
less.
screenshot. I'm gonna
it,
send you a screenshot
I
of
think it's a
the
2 million. I think it's a
like,
2 million power. I think it's a 2 million power increase for every 1 million of horses of T1s. I think that's what it is, roughly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. On one troop, you will
here.
gonna get the 2 power. So
Here
that's
it
the
is.
double. Yeah. Like, do you all remember when the new K45 has been introduced? Uh, the buffs are getting high for K41, 42, 43. At that time, I saw Viper and the guy Demon was soloing 4 or 5 billion power keep, and they were one tapping them. Even though the trap keep with the 2.5 billion power or 3 billion power with not such a good refines, they are one tapping them. So I was pretty scared at that moment, and that time I
So
decided to have the ghost
so
triple
let me
keep.
be so let me be very clear about this. Like whoever says traps don't work, we have no one in this game has ever one tapped a good 3 billion plus T1 trap. No one in this game has.
Okay.
I can
It's
I
still
can
Let's.
effective
assure you that
to go up.
if you
Just.
build it well, no one's one tapping you above 3 billion.
I
It's
agree.
just because
So, like,
they're built trash.
But look at
yeah.
this.
So
This is our
what
trap.
the prefer? What the prefer layering, like having the top tier siege and the range with the T1 scar, right? Or is there any more addition on the layerings?
Yeah, I told you already. Like if you're
Minimal
3
layer.
million T1, go like 150 million T2 and then 30 million or 40 million. But I would prefer something like 800 million T1, 400 million T2, and then 50 million all the way to T7. But I
Yeah.
think we are digressing. We are talking about building a rally heap and not traps.
What
We are
are you?
talking too much.
Depends on how much are you talking about now, buff wise, on the attack. How big of a rally are you talking about? Without reinforcements,
At that,
tanking Viper.
Sorry, what? Yeah,
How big of a
some
trap keep are you talking
some
about? Like if you
some
say like you need 500 million that net, how big of a rally and how big of buff on the attacking
uh,
kind do you
I
need?
would say like a 40-45 million top alliance buffs.
Yeah.
It can probably take like probably even if not go positive, it can probably win the defense.
Okay. So then you now go inside what I shared inside this channel chat. That's our trap. When you look at the troop
Right.
composition of that one, and that
Right.
can tank a 40 million rally.
Oh, nice.
It just needs a higher amount of the T2 calves, and then a higher amount of
What, Norway, what's
Archer
the power
Siege and
on that?
whatever.
Just curious. What's
What?
the power on that? What's the power on that keep?
I told you it is right now 2.4 billion.
Okay.
Okay, so but again, my numbers might be a little skewed here because like I mean C2 and C5 rallies, like the rallies you face and the rallies we face are also a little different. So
I'm
my
not
numbers
in
might be a little
C4.
skewed here. So yeah, C4. Okay, but yeah, like I mean, because we are a little, I think like a little higher in alliance power, so maybe like my numbers are a little bit skewed. But okay, so these are the numbers we can go with, right? Like, so if you're talking in C5, 350 million T1 and 100 million T2, as Norway said, are the numbers we can go with.
So now we can quit regressing and go back to traps. EMP, you don't have a chance to share yours? Can we get somebody like higher up?
No,
A good
you know what?
15,
The
20
best
mil?
question for everyone here that is a mid-level coiner is to ask Viper what happened when he attacked Monk in All Stars, and then to explain that. Because if you as a mid-tier level coiner build your keep the same way he did, you're golden. You are. Then you just have to do your attacking buffs, and then you're golden.
I think that's an important.
Would that have looked different had he been stacked higher on the top end and not more of a trap setup?
Well, I played against him. He's not bad. I don't remember what his power was when he played against Viper. Viper, maybe you have the report, but
No, man. I mean, it's all stuff, man. I don't even remember Monk.
yeah.
Sorry, bro.
I
It's
I
just
do think this is.
it's all stuff.
I do think this is an important point. Um, there's a common misconception that a trap keep is just free, easy, and just a quick build. A proper trap takes effort. A proper trap takes
Yeah.
time, and it takes some level of coining. Not to the level that a full rally team keep with 3500 range attack or whatever it takes, but there's certain elements that even on a trap keep, if you're going to be a proper trap, you're not going to be able to get around. Think about the siege bracers, certain debuff gear.
Hey, that's not true. Our trap is non-coined, no civ
Yeah, but
gear,
look, like
no nothing.
this is I'm gonna have to interrupt. Like this is C5 at the end of the day. You're not facing like proper rally. So
Yeah.
And so
Also, still
C5
digressing.
is still
I got
golden.
in
Yeah.
All Stars. I got rallied by the guy who won our division in Elite. So he had like 3400 range buff, which for C5 I would say it's pretty high. Especially in Elite.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like a 25 mil rally, and he halved my keep. Like they halved my keep. I went from like 7 billion to like a 3 or something.
Yeah,
You mind?
That's the difference indeed. Sorry, Tay, you were asking? Defiction, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying to share, so but we can kind of keep on on topic, on point. If somebody else was willing to share.
Yeah, I saw Norway shared a few reports from your last Throne War, I think it was.
Oh yeah, that was the report I sent was before the Throne War. No dragon talents, no nothing. It was just me being drunk, taking the last enemy temple. We took the throne afterward. But yeah, that's the report. A full big siege rally on me with one rain.
Was it a siege rain or was it something else?
It's siege rain. Big siege.
So this,
that's a question I've
I'm going
always
to interrupt you.
I want to
There's a
try to
couple
put in
things
the air too
that
about rain.
disappoints.
And after that rally, I decided that, well, let's just say, become February or something, I'm gonna develop my keep a little bit more. I already started.
Hey guys.
So what does a good rain look like?
I don't know.
Go ahead,
I
Seth.
think that this rain was actually pretty nice in this report that I shared because it's a 31 something million rally hitting me alone with one rain. And I think that this rally would have gone a little bit better for them if that rain was not there.
Yeah, it would.
Oh,
Because
Maybe, yeah.
about 3.5 million rains died, and they also did damage, of course. Sorry, I saw Eagles. You wanted to ask a question?
Yeah. Yes, I have a question. I just got off the battlefield. I'm server 1147, hi Norway.
Hi.
I just had an attack from K41. I'm K40, and he did better than I did on the battlefield. He hit me with siege, and you can see his buffs and my buffs as well. So, what can I do
I'm
better?
sharing your screen.
I
It's in the
did.
chat.
He posted the report. You can see it in the chat.
Oh, okay, so
Alright.
the first thing you should do
Eagles.
better is your siege HP debuff is 247, is to their debuff which is 620.
Mhm.
So you can start by improving your siege HP debuff. We have a YouTube video in we have a YouTube video on the gears and the subgenerals you can get to improve your CHP debuff. You should definitely get it across like 500 or 600 plus.
Okay.
So that I would say is the first step. Except that, yeah, I mean, but I think like 11, 12B gets sieged in C5, so probably work on siege stats. I mean, we talked about it first, right? Siege and mounted are the two things you need to work on. We would probably need to look at deep. If you could share screen, we could probably take a deeper look into your account, and we could tell you better. Because just generally, these are the things, right? Like improve siege HP debuff, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is there a
But
troop
if you,
composition kind of that's more targeted? I guess like to your buffs, or something that you need to worry about just to try to put that advice out there.
Okay. So the Eagles is asking,
Can
right?
you please,
The Eagles
What is
sorry,
report.
it?
can you please post your YouTube video link in the chat?
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, what do I need to share so you can look at my account?
If you
Screen
could,
share.
But I don't think
if you
that.
could screen share, that would be great.
Screenshot of what?
Screen
Screen
share.
share.
This is Eagle account, right?
Yes, 147.
I don't think that it's gonna, like Viper brought up, is the siege debuff HP and your HP on the siege. I don't think you're gonna get this report any better without having any rains inside. So the one thing you need to work on here is HP debuff and HP on the siege.
Got it.
Siege attack is low as well, and then your siege count, I'm assuming, isn't that high.
So
That too.
10 mil
True
plus
composition.
T15, T14, 20, 30 million T13. Get your siege attack around 26, 2700. Siege HP above 2000, like Viper said.
Shh,
5,
these
6,
11.
and you're good.
So without so much of the buff though, a composition meaning like more and more and more would effectively fill that gap though for temporary, right? Until you get your buffs up
Yeah,
there.
but you can look at this one. She's 11 billion. She has 2.1 billion troops, and she's losing 5.4 million
2.1.
in a solo attack.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
troop
it's not
composition
bad.
amount
And
troops. No, it's not.
the
But
best
if
next
you had a
steps.
rally, it would be.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
The
mean,
speed debuff is an easy upgrade, though. That's an
I've
easy.
noticed a huge difference in my sieges when I actually got my sieges in CDHP to 2000, which is like for K39, it's pretty decent. You know, I don't really see many K39s and 40s with 2000 siege HP buff. And like HP debuff, it's around 500, I think, right now. I'm still missing one civil piece, one piece of civil gear on the sub. But I get to the point where when I was like around 1300 HP, a guy like Neo, for example, we faced him some time ago, right? And then at that point, he was like 2600 on a siege attack. He would hit me and he would like burn a hole with his sieges in my keep. You know, even though my siege debuff attack was like 1400 at the time, his T15s would just like wipe me. Like he's 300.
See, we are not even talking about siege debuff attack. If you are not debuffing siege attack fully, there is no
Yeah.
point of talking at all. So
Yep.
so when you're talking about debuff, we are just talking about siege HP debuff. We're not talking about siege attack debuff. That doesn't matter.
I think it's
You
the
should-
easiest. I think it's the easiest attack. Yeah.
Siege attack
Siege
debuff
attack is the
too
easiest one
easy
to get.
Yeah.
Yep.
Siege
100%.
HP debuff is a very important one. The next one I'd say is T15s. A decent amount of
Yeah.
T15s
Yeah.
will do
Very tanky.
all the difference on solo. That will make you go from, for example, in C2, just getting T15s in your keep is going to make the difference from, for example, losing 1 billion in a solo to losing 50 million.
So let me give you an example. Like Gonzo, I hit Gonzo for 1.7 billion in Shalon's finals. In All Stars, it was 600 million. That's how much of a difference
Oh,
it makes.
nice.
And that's T15s and probably 200% buff difference between the two.
Yeah, but 200% I also improved.
Yeah.
It's not just Gonzo improving, right? So
My wall buffs are ass. I can tell you, it's fucking crazy the difference on T15 Siege. It's so much better.
Okay,
yeah, for sure.
guys, I
Not
have
against
a
16s.
real question here for Viper. He's the most experienced here, or whatever. Who is it? Just answer this. I changed all of my civ gears out now for this BOG match today, and I put on all free-to-play gears, and I made them all flats, and I didn't do one defense. Nobody attacked me. Not a fucking person. Not one. I got scouts. I have a few players on my team that is bigger than me and has a lot of bigger buffs than me. K41, Jack. And the only people they don't attack is me and Jack. Everybody else they do attack, and this is server 216. So tell me, what do I do wrong?
It's like all of us.
We need some data to be able to go over this.
Buy another keep, smaller
You need
one.
to get you need to get a pretty decoration to be hit.
You start sending out emails halfway through Battlefield telling them, please hit my keep. I need a test.
I changed
we all
name.
have
I
that.
changed everything. Still no
This is-
attack. Only scouts.
this-
and
this-
I've killed off
is-
all of my big level troops. And I
this is-
ghosted all of the left of my siege, like the higher tier siege, and then like, come on, hit me. Nope.
Yeah, this is something I can't answer. I can't even get hit in All Stars, bro.
Yeah. I have a trash keep, and I only get hit in All Stars and Shalon's playoffs. And like, so it is what it is. Nothing you can do.
One person.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a
Okay.
question from Dana in the chat earlier. Do you have suggestions on which dragon talents to focus on getting past level 40 first? They're so expensive, I've just been letting them sit. So which one to focus on first? What do you think, Viper? What would your...
I mean, I would get like the third talent first, and the order would be Nidhogg first, Ziz next, Ziz because it also gives siege HP plus all troops attack. Probably Amaterasu after that. I'm not considering the new tree dragon.
I would personally
And
do,
then
They have, in
especially in
general.
C5, I would personally do Ladon first, because probably there's the biggest amount of people that have Ladon as well, but it gives siege and range attack debuffs. I would do Nidhogg because of the march size and range and siege attack buffs. And then I would start focusing on the others. I would, what I did first is the Norway, the Blue Dragon, because it gives all troop attack buffs.
but it also debuffs your own defense.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but it's like 20%. That's nothing.
I barely play Battlefield with Norway turned off, so I don't even know what my defense is with Norway off.
Dude, don't turn me off.
I always
Yeah,
turn you off.
Latin on Mastro. You could. Latin's is good for when you're attacking, and Almastro's. And I'm talking about the active skill.
Mm-hmm.
That would actually be good if you are defending, especially if they are doing. I'm not really caring about the siege. I'm caring about the ranged troop attack. Because siege attack, that's almost a non-issue. Because your debuffs are going to be high enough if you have freaking Al Mastro.
The active skill of Amaterasu is ground and cav attack, right?
Ground and
Yeah.
cav attack when attacking,
That's
but
right.
the debuff, it has debuff on it, which is enemy range troop and siege machine attack. That part I'm looking at, and the range attack would actually be helpful.
Yeah, and Ladon does cav HP.
Cav and ground HP and attack for debuff.
Viper, this is Beast. I was wondering where you guys were posting those reports. I had an interesting report from today. We played small people, and he soloed one of my teammates, and he had all his siege ghosted. So I wanted to share that report.
In the general chat.
In the general in the voice chat, then it also shows up in the video later.
Click on the chat.
What shows up in the video? Oh, yeah.
Beast, you're doing so.
Come on, now there's no free knowledge. You got to make money off of this.
What's interesting about this report, he also did not have siege reinforcements. I shared in the general chat.
Okay.
So
I'll paste it in the other chat.
It does seem like Siege never reaches archers on solos.
Well, yeah, and he had one cavalry reinforcement, I think 2 ground and a range, and he just ghosted. So the first hit did take his layers, but he had his top tier ghosted. And the way he's built, he didn't build out a bunch of lower siege layers, so he could ghost his top tier. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like, there is a way with low buffs to take on the big guys. You know, you just gotta
Well,
stuff.
In this case, of course, with 20 mil range, whatever his buffs were, he would just splat on you.
Not necessarily.
Are we talking about an Ox report now?
The one that's in the one that I shared in chat is the one that Beast shared in the regular public chat.
It wasn't siege reinforcements, so he was able to zero a lot of big keeps and all that. But that guy is a low coiner. He hasn't spent much on the game. The way he built his account, and he didn't zero him. He zeroed some of the VIP 20s, but he was able to ghost his siege and take quite a few hits from him. I don't think he ever lost more than 200 million. And if he would have been reinforced with siege, he would have lost the other person's troops.
Well, this is a really interesting report to see, though, because realistically, I think small PP is one of the highest buffed keeps in the entire game, and maybe even probably top 3, top 5, something like that.
Yeah, it is interesting. And what you do is, if you're small like that, you host the siege, and then have somebody reinforce you with cavalry. The guy that reinforced the calves ended up killing all that siege. So if you know they're just repeatedly siege soloing, the first hit I think took 200 mil, and then after that he wasn't taking much. He stopped soloing them. That's how bad it was going
Yeah.
with the siege.
Yeah. I have been noticing that Brown and Mountain Patch reinforcement is working a lot more against siege and doing siege reinforcements lately. So this is only through like last 2 battlefields that I've noticed.
Ground and cav reinforcements will just get kills and not get killed. Siege will actually make siege waste turns attacking them. So it's better for the defending city.
Mm-hmm.
So basically remember that when the siege is killing reinforcements, maybe if the reinforcements are not killing as much, they're wasting a turn in which the defending city's siege can attack the rally siege.
Yeah.
So one of my questions earlier, what's a good reinforcement look like then? I'm lazily, and I throw out my preset attack march to reinforce real quick.
Well, in my experience, every time you get hit with siege, the best reinforcements against siege is actual siege.
Yeah, I just mean as far as like composition, what you're throwing in there as reinforcement, whether it be siege, ground, whatever you're
I
throwing
don't
in
think
there.
it really matters at all.
Well, I've
comes
seen
off
some that
enough.
reinforce with just like 13, 14s, 13s, and some 12s, no layers. I've seen full layers. I've seen a mixed march where there's a little bit of siege, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but it's mostly top layer stuff.
Oh yeah,
Is there a
you need
benefit to
layers.
layers at all in
You need
reinforcement?
You need layers.
Yeah.
Always protect, because the layers protect your main march from
Sure.
from the main hit.
Taking the counter. Yeah.
So you always need layers, but every counter towards siege is going to be siege in my head. I don't know, but Viper might have something else smarter. I don't know.
No,
Where do I post reports? I can't find this channel. Where the hell we post reports?
Press the chat button, the little chat bubble at the top.
Oh, I gotcha.
No,
Or
I think this. I think the same, that like calves and ground might like look better on the kills, but the attacker siege is just attacking attacking the defender siege in that case, in which the defending city suffers more. So if you have siege in there, it wastes one turn getting reinforcements, so the defender is better protected.
Yeah.
Yeah, reason why I said seems like Captain Brown is because if they're part of a rally team, they're going to be using their siege a lot. That's the reason. Basically,
arguably not in C5, but yeah.
My alliance is kind of is doing siege and arch rallies a lot.
I
figure
have
I'm the potential in the dorm.
I have a question now, like not from defense in keep or attacking keep or whatever. I have a question about holding throne. Is that good to ask in this chat?
Yeah, let's go to a question that was asked in chat first, but then let's go back to your question. There was a question that was asked in chat a few minutes ago from what's the value of flex specialty Iron Curtain for keeps now?
Yeah.
I think it's probably the best flex specialty to have, personally, because it doesn't just it essentially buffs all your troop types with flats, and it's I wouldn't say it's free, but it gives you. I'm looking up Iron Curtain at the moment at the same time what the actual stats are. But if you look at it, it gives flats on in-city troop
All
attacks
troops.
on every troop type. And
Yeah.
That's unreal.
It's the stat that it gives at the highest level, at level 100, is comparable to 2 flat attacks on off
A
the top of my
refine.
head on ground, or 1.5 flat attack or something on cav. So it essentially gives you like a total of 8 or 9 extra flat attacks. So if you can get Iron Curtain, go for it. If you could get more copies of Iron Curtain, absolutely. Because it, in my view, it's the most important one to have on the wall.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
I'm
it gives a
using
total
the
of 800 flats at max.
Yeah, I would say like get it on your main and assistant. As Nox
yeah.
said, it's definitely the specialty to have.
Yeah.
Actually, I have the better tested goal, and actually my other troops really did well getting more kills at T1s just from the goal better tested. So this, I mean, with this flexible specialties now introduced, I mean, we should build more lower tiers for war, for defense, even siege or range, more lower tiers or
Siege lower layers are an absolute no. Don't make siege from T1 to T4.
Okay.
Like
Viper, have you
even
hit Lahore at all? Because he's got range flats on his attack for
range,
you. He
range
does
sure,
range flats, yeah.
range sure. You can make range sure, but siege T1 to T4 is an absolute no. Even this SVS, I soloed someone with T11 who had like enough T4s to make it a solo. I went positive in SVS. Not like a lot positive, but I did go positive. So T1 to T4 are an absolute no for siege. For range and every other troop type, yes. With iron curtains, yes.
What about T1 with siege flats? Have you seen that at all or no?
Even T1s die. I wouldn't really
On
bother with
solo or
siege
rally?
T1 to T4 on a solo.
Really, eh? Interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother with T1 to T4 to be very honest.
Have
Yeah,
you
the
ever tried to
attack's not
solo
enough on
Lahore?
a siege.
Can you say that one more time?
I wouldn't bother with siege T1 to T4. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I
Just get a
agree.
layer. Make sure that you have sufficient to have your layer covered, but don't go beyond that.
But then again, it depends on your refines, on your general, right?
For
Would the
siege,
T1 archer
irrespective
kill
of
mean,
enemy
refines,
siege?
irrespective of refines, don't build T1 to T4. And don't
Yeah, I think the
refine siege.
attack's
But
wasted.
but
Yeah.
sieges like low sieges don't have any range. They're fucking useless.
They also
That's
do
really what it
very
is.
little on the attack. You know, it's just
Yeah.
well,
So T1 sieges, like, you cannot buff their range past something that's like T7 sieges will wipe, right? So you can build, I don't know how many T1 or T2 sieges. It's pointless, I think.
yeah, but he said T1 to T5. So say, let's say you have T1 to T5, 10 million each. Let's say
Yeah, that's fine.
T5 does something, T4 does something, T2 does something, T1 does something. It's gonna help you, but
Well, it's not
you
gonna
don't
help
need
but
to
you.
build a billion of it.
yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
yeah.
still it'll help, but it'll be
Yeah,
still
there's no
neutral.
T1
There's
trap
no
siege
Well,
defense.
the thing is, if somebody attacks you, like Viper, if you're a K40 or something, you have good buffs, you have like ordinary buffs for a K40, and Viper hits you
You're fucked.
in a
Oh,
solo
you
attack.
fucked, yeah. Yeah, you fucked.
So the thing you want your lower layers to attack his protective layers. That means his layers, not his main army. So if he is attacking you with a lot of T15 and blah blah blah, you don't want your lower layers to attack him. Attack those layers. You want your lower layers to attack his protective layers, which is his actual layers, right? Because if they can kill off them, then his main march will get weaker.
And this is essentially the point why you always layer on defense, but also on offense, on buildings or wherever. You always put a full layered march in there. Let's say you have 56 layers, and some of them are actual troop types, and some of them are just protective layers. If you have 56 and someone in a building that is defending a building has, for example, only T15 and T14 in there, what your 56 layers are going to do is all 56 of them are going to attack those 2 layers. While if they have 56 in there as well, they're going to hit their own counter instead of the T15s and T14s. So you want to make sure that the 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, however many troops you put in a layer, are going to be the ones that are going to hit their own layer to avoid, between quotes, free damage for your opponent.
Yeah.
What about reinforcements? Layers too?
Always, yeah.
Or
Of
just
course,
Yeah,
of
always.
course.
Always.
Every march is layered. Every march is layered. At
I would
least
say
1,000 layers.
I would say no march should leave your keep unlayered unless you're gathering or troop
Monsters.
load.
monsters?
Yeah,
No, no,
monsters
no.
gathering troop load. Those are the only ones
Actually,
that go without layers.
no. Actually, you should just make it like a real thing. Everything you do layered, because if you're in a Bob server like me, you might get hit. Those layers are gonna soften that hit. Always do
No,
layers.
send me a
Always
question.
do layers.
A
Not
fair
against
point. I do
monsters
think there's
specifically.
not that many bulb servers in C5 at the moment. It's such a happy joy continent that
Yeah, because Anya is mod.
T5's
How
yeah.
can
already
there
changed.
be Bob servers?
Everyone T5 is
Oh,
changed.
Anya has been in my server. She played in my server, and so is Ray Finkel plays in my server right now. I mean, there is peace, but there's also war. I mean, doesn't really matter what it is. When you wake up, maybe somebody decides to attack you or something like that. Just put layers. Put layers.
Nox, I
Always
got a
layers.
question for you.
Yeah.
So Nox, you got a lot of flats. So do you run like what monarch gear do you run on your? Do you just run airs and but some other stuff has flats, or do you run cab flats or ground flat like for the monarch gear in Battlefield?
I have a Cav wall preset in Monarch, and that's essentially the flats. So the what is it, the staff and the
Yeah.
club and those kind of things. For offense, I use the daggers.
So you switch in between. So you'll switch for a rally.
Yeah, I
Even
don't
if you're
get
trying to
hit
port.
that often in Battlefield, so I usually don't really have to go for defense if I run up. But in fairness, if I'm up against, for example, Viper, I put the wall up because the 100% extra buffs that I get on offense, yeah, I can miss them.
Do you leave it on there, or you
Yeah, I
you
leave it on
switch?
wall then.
Yeah, because even NFG, we target you, or we try to at least.
Yeah.
But
BK loves soloing me, and that's always fun.
yeah. Considering you got 3-piece choreo, you might be like the tankiest 3-piece choreo in the game.
That's
What
also thanks to Sped.
Nox is
Then I got 4
Nox.
pieces. I can surpass him.
I was saying Nox can take all choreo off. Fuck it, be full
I
Akamenid
just
dead.
heard Nox in 3 pieces. That's all.
Well, with Nox as a name, you have to be built like a bank,
Well, and so the reason I have 3-piece choreo on wall is because I didn't want to put the leg armor up, because the leg armor gives siege buffs, and I wanted to keep the cav buffs.
Wait, you
He
have
got Abyss
3-piece
bracers.
choreo on wall?
Yeah.
He has
3-piece.
Abyss bracers on his wall.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
He's a tank, bro.
Okay, I
Alright,
have
guys,
5-piece, so I'm not gonna say much because I don't have a full piece. But
So the point
alright,
is
guys.
that
So let's just take
choreo
the
is
last question.
yeah. So I was gonna say
Sorry.
choreo is largely siege. So if you don't have a siege defense, think about alternatives to just choreo as well. Don't blindly put 6-piece choreo on. Think about what would work best for your defense.
Right. So Nox, let's take the last 3 questions, and conclude, and then we can have an informal discussion to whoever wants to continue,
Yeah, of course.
so that we don't make the. All right. So I think Norway had a question on Throne, though it's
Yep.
not exactly what we decided to talk about. But let's talk about Throne.
I mean, what I want to know about Throne is because I mean, SOA has taken a lot of thrones. We've taken server 200 throne. We've taken a lot of thrones. I just want to know what like is the best composition side of throne, and I don't know. You can refer to whatever alliance, keep level, and true composition you want. I just need to know what is the if Viper can refer to his composition of troops inside throne. From that, I can make my own like
So for
composition
Throne,
from whatever.
I would put like if I'm putting a ground march in, I would put like 7.2 million ground T15, maybe 800,000 T14, 200,000 T13, 100,000 T12. I mean, it would be like mostly T15.
But that's
Any
almost
march.
comparative to an attack march. How does that differ from an attack?
No,
It's just a lot
That
top heavier.
it's very very top heavy. Like my attack range would have like 4 million T12. My Throne range would have 7 million T15, if not higher.
Yeah.
It's a very very top heavy march.
Yeah, and
On building, it has to be a very very top heavy march. There's just no two ways about it.
and of course, Viper and I went into a lot of detail on that in our
Yeah.
Throne Science video.
I
And
didn't see
that on
that.
its own was like a 15 minutes video with a 30-minute video before it, where we tried to do the actual rallies. It's a lot to cover, but indeed high tier, just high tier a lot, and it's a difference from a regular PvP march.
Yep.
But it also needs to be the same if you're raining, right? So this is also perpendicular to rain, just regular keep rain, right? Because you would want to send similar thing, right?
Theoretically, yes, but the drawback of that is often that you don't have 16 presets.
Well,
So I have a separate siege reinforcement preset and a ground like building slash reinforcement ground preset. But I don't have a separate cav or whatever because there's not enough presets for that. So what I then do is just my regular big siege march, for example, because a big siege rain is better than no rain.
Yeah.
but I think that you talk about if you drag T15, T16 into this, you have like you can have T15 into this, but T16, how many people here has T16s?
One.
No, I don't have T16 either. I said T15.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So highest tier heavy. That's what you put in a building. That's essentially the highest tier that you have. Go heavy on that.
but you go lower on compared to your attack march, because when I put the throne or my alliance put the throne, we put like usually we put like 2 T15s with ground T15 ground inside throne, and the rest put everything from T14 and down with a higher mount on the T14.
I would go
Mm,
heavy on the T14s there.
Yeah, they never when we decide to take throne, they never kicked us off it. But the thing is, they can attack like if they have a player with a few players with a great buff, they can attack with lower tier troops and kill off your layers. And if they kill off your layers, then you're fucked. So you need to change all the time, right? Because if a rally comes and you don't have any layers in there, then you're fucked.
Mm-hmm. And that's why that's essentially why I have the, for example, building preset, reinforcement preset. For Throne, I often change my presets as well, and I think Viper and the others do as well. So that we're faster getting in and getting out of Throne
Sure.
Yeah. So
to
that's what
set
I
in.
want to know.
Yeah.
What is your preferred layer when you're taking throne? I mean, now we're talking about you have a good alliance against you. What is your layers? What do you have in your layers in the throne? You have the most of higher tiers, of course, but what do you put in your layers? Every goddamn member of your alliance. What is the layer you put in?
What, like 1,000? Is that what you're saying?
No. Is it 1,005 or 10?
You put
Gotcha.
10 in, but it can be 5, it can be 10. So what you want to do there is that your layer is bigger than the person attacking you most often. That's
There you go.
essentially the only thing that you want to go. You want to avoid that your layer in Throne is one shot and dies. So you,
Okay.
Yeah, it suppresses an attack. Yeah.
So if you have one person that is K43,
Mhm.
you should have 10K layers in each member inside the throne.
Well, it doesn't really depend on
Depends
the
on your
K43. It's just your
Yeah,
layers
if
should be
it
sufficiently sized to take more than a single hit. So they need to be bigger than 1,000. I would say at least 5,000, and that's purely based on what you see is on average in a rally on Throne you lose 2-3,000 in each layer. So you want to
yeah,
be
okay.
bigger than that.
Yeah, a reason why I say 10,000 is because of equal to the march size of that keep level.
Yeah, I mean
We
10,000 in each layer is going to take a lot of troops out of your march that could have been actually attacking or defending layers, of course. So
Yeah,
10,000 is asking a lot of a 4 million march, but 10,000 of a 7 million march is a different story. That's a fair point. I'd
yeah.
say try to go bigger than 3,000 as far as you can.
It's all going to depend on your alliance and the march size of your alliance, but I mean, what I need to know, basically, as a middle tier player, and most of the people here, is what you and Viper put in those marches, so I can do my own calculations of what I need to put in those marches.
I
do
do
1,000 standard.
0.01% is your march.
1,000 standard.
I do
One,
10, and of the actual attacking layers or the actual T13, 14, 15, etc. I do a million T13, million T14, and then the slider all the way to the right on 15. And that's looking at it from like 7.5 million march size. So if you
one more
scale that
question.
down to 4.5 million, something like that, it's probably going to be 500k T13, 500k 14, and slide it to the right on 15. And if you don't have 15, it should be slide it to the right on 14 and 13 and 12.
Okay. One more question. Is this going to be in the video?
Yes, that's the plan.
Okay. Well, that's good because I have to remember it. And I just came from the bathtub. I'm the only one from SOA online, so that's good.
All right.
Oh, y'all didn't
So
make
can
this
we take
team
the
mandatory?
can we take the last two questions? If anyone has any other questions. All right, I think then we are done here, Nox.
I think so. I
Do you
see
want
a
to?
lot of pictures in general chat, so I'm scrolling through it to see if there's anything important for
Oh,
us.
I don't. I'm missing general chat.
No, okay, cool.
Go back to a heavy corner situation then again, so I can give somebody some direction. Still just go flats until you're 20. There's no benefit maybe in a 3-to-1 flat versus percent.
No, so the
Is there
point
much
is
benefit?
that you need to look at amount of troops to be able to take a hit if you go high tier. And if you, for example, if you go, let's say T12 Cav, you need like 2600% cav HP to be able to properly tank a hit. But that is with, for example, 200 million T12 cavs. And let's be realistic, 200 million T12 cavs is going to be, let's 700 billion RSS or something. So
Yeah.
not a lot of people are
Not
going to have
feasible.
200 mil T12 cavs. So you're better off having flats up until the
Yeah.
point that you reach those kind of buffs.
Which kind of buffs?
So 24,
2500
2500.
cav HP, etc. on wall with
Yeah.
flats. That's essentially representative of that's effectively representative of the amount of coin that you do. Because
Okay.
getting to
Okay.
2500% cav HP on wall while you're not buffing your gear with percentages means your duty officers are high, fully ascended wall general, your K42, K43 research, etc., or MA8 basically. Those are the kind of levels that you would think about going percent. A guy like Small PP, his defense has full percents. He's not using flats on wall.
Okay.
Difference is he's fully maxed out MA9, and it's not comparable to the majority of the keeps. So I think it's safe to say that for C5, the answer is now flats. Even for a guy like Neo, I would say the answer should be flats. Because he doesn't have the troops to...
I think that you're not exaggerating, because I think that even in C4, you should, if you're a mid-tier coiner, make flats. Because if you're 8 billion in size or 10 billion in size, you're gonna waste your top tiers in rallies.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is put on flats, because when somebody solos you or something in All Stars, like that Viper, because Viper, the free to play Viper, it has a big march, and he is a
Big ass
motherfucker.
march.
Yeah. So what you want to do is tank it. So how are you gonna do it if all of your top tier troops is out or dead in rallies? Yeah, well, you're gonna flat those stats. And
I got one
so
more question before we do hop off.
flat.
Viper, how's it feel to be public enemy number one?
No, Viper says he's free to play. I mean, Norway is free to play. Viper is not.
No, he just said F2P. He didn't ever say free to play.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna end the recording here, but we can continue on the chat. So we're gonna end the YouTube portion here, and I'll stay online, and we can chat or whatever you want. So everybody, thank you for being here. We had a really good turnout, so thanks. I'm gonna stop the recording.